Top 10 creepy creatures you might meet someday. Our myths and legends are rife with enigmatic cryptids and terrible animals, some of which have been proven to exist. But, more often than not, these stories about terrifying creatures are simply that, stories about imagined monsters created to fill a gap in a plot. However, not all fantastic monsters are made up, and there is enough evidence to imply that they exist. Number 10. Dobhir-Chew. The Dobhir-Chew is an eerie cryptid with Irish origins. The water hound, sometimes known as the king otter, is a half-dog, half-fish hybrid that is 5 times the size of a conventional otter. It can swim and gallop on land as fast as a horse, according to legend. The Dobhir-Chew hunts in groups or pairs, pursuing its prey both on land and in the water. The Dobhir-Chew is notoriously violent toward humans and dogs, killing and devouring both. The popular mythology of their hostility toward humans revolves upon a 17th-century husband and wife. Grace MacLeod was doing laundry in Glenade Lough when her husband heard her cry. It was too late by the time he arrived. The Dobhir-Chew stood above her butchered body. He pierced the creature's heart. It died with a whistling sound, which notified its partner. The second Dobhir-Chew pursued and killed the husband as well. Witnesses have reported seeing it in Ireland's freshwater loughs and rivers for generations. Though it is now thought to be extinct, it is possible that they still exist on a chill island. Number 9. Mamlambo. If you thought underwater cryptids and frightening animals were disturbing enough, the Mamlambo will have you shielding your face every time you jump in the water. The Mamlambo is a reptilian-like animal and has its origins in Zulu and South African mythology. Some witnesses describe it as a massive bioluminescent snake, while others describe it as a cross between a snake, a crocodile, and a horse, with 4 stubby legs. The Mamlambo will attack its prey, including humans, and pull it to the bottom of South Africa's Mzimplava River. When its victims are drowned, it consumes their faces, fractures their skulls, and devours their brains. For a long time, locals living around the Mzimplava River have reported seeing the Mamlambo. However, police have denied these sightings, claiming that the deaths were caused by drowning due to the river's flooding during the heavy rain season. They explained that the victims' disfigured faces were simply created by river crabs eating away at the body's flesh over time. Nonetheless, villagers maintain that the Mamlambo exists. Number 8. Deer Women. Add deer women to your list of legendary femme fatales. Deer ladies are usually a good spirit for North American Central Plains and woodland Native American tribes. They commonly appear as a human, a deer, or a hybrid of the two to women as a sign of conception. They would occasionally appear to promiscuous men and adulterers, beguiling them and eventually leading them to death or eternal lovesickness. Deer women are far more violent in current legends among Oklahoma's Aboriginal tribes. These deer women have the appearance of young ladies, but they have hooves for feet and deer eyes. They entice folks to come to them and then crush them to death. Some believe that deer women are women who transformed after being raped or who were resurrected by an original deer woman spirit. Regardless of the deer woman's origins, numerous Native American tribes have reported sightings of her. Number 7. El Chupacabras. Nothing compares to the legendary story of this blood-sucking, livestock-preying reptile beast. The chupacabra, sometimes known as the goatsucker, was discovered in Puerto Rico in 1995. It preys on cattle and sucks their blood. It is the size of a small bear and has a series of prickly protrusions down its back. It has greenish-gray leathery skin and stands and leaps like a kangaroo. A more regular version of the creature resembles a wild dog. All victims who have had their blood drained have 2 or 3 puncture wounds on their chest or neck. People have claimed seeing it in Maine, northern Mexico, Russia, and Chile since the first encounter. The existence of the chupacabra is denied by wildlife experts and biologists. Instead, they maintain that what witnesses are seeing are mange-ridden coyotes or Mexican hairless canines. Still, there is a good likelihood that a chupacabra exists, although in a non-alien form. Footage shows an unusual dog with a very huge head, possibly a chupacabra, racing down a dirt road. A chupacabra was killed by animal control in 2010 after it was discovered to be a coyote-dog hybrid with mange and parasites. What the witness saw in 1995, however, was not a hairless dog. It was the stuff of nightmares. Number 6. Black Stick Men. It's not Slenderman or a ghost. It's Black Stick Men. Black Stick Men are long, slender two-dimensional figures. They are unusually tall, electric at times, and throw no shadow. Black Stick Men are a relatively new phenomenon, with many sightings being proved hoaxes. However, 6 of them were discovered by a cryptozoologist named Mark Wolfgang Miller in Beaufort, Wyoming. He attempted to photograph a 12-foot tall stick figure, but the figure was obscured in the shot. Number 5. Fresno Nightcrawler. The Fresno Nightcrawler is a white bipedal monster with a tiny torso, a round head, and no arms. Its legs make up the majority of its body. The Fresno Nightcrawler was long assumed to be a Native American mythology, however this is not the case, thus we may best define this creature as an alien. It was first seen on a home security camera in Fresno, California, and has only been sighted once since, in Yosemite National Park. Number 4. Snalligaster. The name is amusing, but the monster is far from amusing. The snalligaster is a dragon-like creature with razor-sharp teeth, based on Germanic legend and cited by locals of Frederick County, Maryland. Early accounts of the snalligaster attribute it with octopus and vampiric qualities. The legend became a reality in 1909. After reports of encounters with the beast began to surface in newspapers, the creature began to appear all throughout the country, from New Jersey to Ohio. According to eyewitnesses, the snalligaster had an eye in the middle of its forehead. The same year, a terrifying account of a man snatched by the snalligaster and drained of his blood caught the attention of the Smithsonian Institute. The institute would offer an award for anyone who could produce the height of the animal. But the story was so terrible that President Theodore Roosevelt even considered postponing his trip to hunt it. The last account of the snalligaster comes from Washington County, Maryland. Apparently, the beast was overcome by moonshine fumes and fell from the sky into the still. Revenue agents soon destroyed both the vat and the body of the snalligaster. No one has seen it since. Number 3. Mogollon Monster. In 1903, I.W. Stevens came seeing a humanoid figure in the Grand Canyon with gray hair and a beard that reached its legs. It had 2-inch-long talons and was sucking the blood of 2 cougars. Don Davis, a cryptozoologist, came across the same humanoid thing on a Boy Scout expedition almost 40 years later. The huge beast's eyes were deep-set and expressionless. The Mogollon monster is what it's called. It walks with very lengthy strides, mimics animal sounds, and has a terrible scream. Several persons on the Fort Apache Indian Reservation claim to have seen the Mogollon monster. Despite videos and organic samples, biologists are skeptical of its existence. Number 2. Mantis Man. Here's a creepy creature that's not only creepy but also bashful. The mantis man is a 7-foot-tall insectoid that resembles a praying mantis. Definitely not an entomophobic creature. Both reports claim that it was wading in the Musconetcong River in New Jersey at the time of its encounter. The praying mantis, on the other hand, does not spend much time near water. Because of the creature's location and the fact that the Earth's atmosphere cannot support the growth of a bug so huge, many people assume the mantis man is an aquatic critter. Either that or it's an alien. Whatever it is, if you come across it, you won't have to worry about it attacking you. According to all stories, it flees when approached too closely. Number 1. Mothman. The fabled Mothman paid a visit to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, on a cool autumn night in 1965. 5 guys were preparing for a burial when they noticed something fly from the trees. What they witnessed was a scary humanoid, not a bird. Mothman bears no resemblance to a moth. It stands about 7 feet tall and has a wingspan of 10 to 15 feet. When it folds its wings, it shuffles like a penguin and has 2 glowing red eyes in the center of its chest. Those who look into its eyes or catch a glimpse of its face describe feelings of dread, psychological discomfort, and overwhelming wickedness. Some believe Mothman forewarns people about coming tragedies. Others believe it is the work of an angel, a demon, or the result of a curse. Despite the fact that Mothman has been sighted on a regular basis since 1965, it is still mainly considered a legend or the misidentification of a sandhill crane. And those are the 10 most terrifying animals that could exist. If you're lucky, or unlucky, enough to come encounter one of these critters, take a picture of it. You must demonstrate that it is not a fake.
If you like this video and you want to see more like it, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you get notified every single time a new video goes live.